Okay, so get this right. We have a whole bunch of articles all about Danielle Cohn, the TikTok star,
Yeah.
and years of speculation, conflicting claims from people, even like a possible slip-up on a live stream.
Oh, wow.
It all boils down to one question. How old is Danielle Cohn, really?
It's a mystery that's really captured, like, the whole internet, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've got articles here from Dexerto, a few others you sent us, too.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to have a different theory.
It's crazy. So you've probably seen her videos, maybe even back when she was on Musical, right?
Right.
But even just after being in the spotlight for so long, her age has always been this, like, big question mark.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole deep dive so interesting, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just about a number. This whole thing highlights how much we rely on what we see online,
Yeah.
especially with influencers who have this carefully crafted image.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And in 2022, she was saying she was 17, right? But then we also have this Facebook post from her father where he says she's far younger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he deleted the post later, which just makes it even more mysterious.
Right.
Makes you think about the pressure of managing a young person's image online
It does.
and what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. And then there's the whole birth certificate thing.
Oh, right.
We have some leaked documents that suggest she was born in 2006,
Okay.
which would mean she's turning 18 in 2024,
Yeah.
not 17 like she said.
It really throws a wrench in things, doesn't it?
It really does.
And this leads us to that live stream from way back in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Where she might have accidentally said her real age.
The one where she says, like, in 5 or 6 years, maybe, when I'm like 19 or 20,
Right.
if you do the math,
Yeah.
she'd be about 14 during that live stream.
Exactly. And if that's right, it would line up with the 2006 birth year on the leaked documents.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there's another twist. Her mother actually came out and said that it wasn't a slip-up.
Oh, really?
Gave a whole different explanation for what Danielle meant.
Wow. So now we're left with this question.
Right.
Was it a real mistake?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it, like, on purpose to get people talking? Or something else entirely?
It's like a puzzle with missing pieces, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the internet, though. So much information, but separating fact from fiction,
Right.
especially when it comes to someone's online image.
It's tough. And then it gets even more interesting because we also have this other live stream with Mads Lewis,
Oh,
another
yeah.
social media personality.
Right.
And she says that she's known Danielle since Mads was 11
Okay.
and Danielle was 9.
So if we believe her, that puts Danielle's birth year closer to 2006,
Yeah.
which supports what we saw in those leaked documents.
It does.
But it's just one person's memory, right?
Yeah, of course.
Memories can be a little fuzzy,
Definitely.
especially years later.
Yeah.
And there's always that chance of exaggerating without meaning to,
Oh, for sure.
especially on a live stream.
Right.
We have to be careful about taking anything as the absolute truth, you know?
Absolutely.
It's like piecing together a puzzle, but some of the pieces might be from a completely different picture.
Right.
We have to consider everything, including how Danielle herself has reacted to all this.
Yeah, what has she said about it?
Well, from what you sent over, looks like she addressed it in a YouTube video back in 2021. But she still didn't actually say how old she is.
So she didn't really clear anything up.
Nope. It's almost like she's leaning into the mystery, isn't it?
It kind of seems like it.
And it raises some interesting questions about why she would do that.
Yeah. Like, what's her motivation here?
Exactly. It really makes you think about online personas and how much control someone has over how they're seen online,
Absolutely.
especially when you consider how young she was when she first got famous. Yeah, it's hard to even imagine, isn't it? She basically grew up with, millions of people watching her every move. That kind of scrutiny on someone so young
Right.
must have been so intense.
And in a way, like, this whole age thing, it speaks to this bigger issue about online fame. you
Yeah.
know? It's like everyone thinks they need to know everything about these influencers,
Right.
even something as personal as their age.
Yeah, that's a good point. It makes you think about the lines between, like, public and private life in this digital age.
For sure.
And how much we're blurring those lines ourselves just by being, consumers.
It's true.
Mhm.
And it's easy to forget that there's a real person behind these online personas.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone who might still be figuring things out.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to, like, who they are.
Especially with the pressure to keep up a certain image online and keeping your audience engaged.
Right.
It's like a constant performance, and the stakes are so high.
They really are.
Yeah.
And, I mean, in Danielle's case, the mystery around her age almost becomes part of her brand.
Right. It keeps people talking, keeps them guessing.
Yeah.
There's definitely an element of that,
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if she's doing it on purpose. Whether it's intentional or not, it's working, right? It's keeping her in the spotlight.
It's like she's flipped the script, using the mystery to her advantage.
Exactly. And that's what I think is really interesting, from a sociological perspective.
Yeah.
It shows the power dynamics of influencer culture.
Right.
And how someone like Danielle can use this public interest in her age to stay relevant.
It's like a commentary on the whole idea of being famous online, right?
Yeah.
She's not giving people the answer they want, but she's giving them something to talk about.
And that's more powerful than just telling everyone her age.
Right.
It keeps her audience engaged and it keeps her career going.
So even without knowing for sure how old she is, we've learned a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. This deep dive has gone way beyond just how old is Danielle Cohn? We're talking about online identity, the pressures of being an influencer, and, the relationship between creators and their fans.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Like just this one question about her age.
Right.
It brings up all these other big ideas.
It really does show how powerful a good mystery can be, huh?
Yeah.
Like, we all love a good puzzle. Trying to figure out what's real, what's fake.
Especially online.
Oh, especially online.
It's like with her, the line between who she is online and who she is in real life, it's so blurry.
It is. It makes you think about this whole world of influencers.
It really does.
We're constantly seeing these perfect images, hearing these stories, but they're all so carefully made to look a certain way.
And it's so easy to just get sucked in.
So easy.
You forget that these are real people behind these perfect online lives.
Yeah, with real problems and insecurities, just like everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
But, for them, it's happening on a much bigger scale.
Way bigger. It's like social media gives people this huge platform to, connect, to build a following and everything.
Right.
But then there's this pressure to always look perfect, always be
Of performance.
and to please millions of people.
And when you think about how young a lot of these influencers are,
Yeah.
it's even more worrying. They're trying to figure out who they are, going through those tough teenage years,
All right.
but they're doing it with the whole world watching them, judging them.
That's got to be hard. So, thinking about our listener,
Yeah.
it's easy to get caught up in all the gossip and the drama,
Right.
but we have to remember that there's a real person at the heart of it all.
Yeah. It's a good reminder to be more aware of what we're seeing online, and to question the stories we're being told.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And maybe even just to be a little nicer, a little more understanding
Right.
about what it's like to live your life in public, especially online.
Especially online. Because whether Danielle Cohn is 17 or 18, the bigger issue here is how we treat these online personalities.
It is.
And, how this constant watching and judging affects them.
It's a conversation that's just getting started.
Yeah.
And we all have a part in it. So to our listener out there,
Yeah.
the next time you're scrolling through your feed, remember Danielle Cohn. Remember all the mystery, the intrigue. But most importantly, remember that she's a person.
A real person.
Exactly. And, like always, keep diving deep, keep asking questions, and keep exploring this crazy digital world we live in.